Hello and welcome to the Anxiety BC website and to this special interview on obsessive-compulsive disorder. I'm Dr. Michael Catchpole and my guest is Dr. Maureen Whittall. Dr. Whittall is director of the Anxiety Disorders Clinic at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. Dr. Whittall, thanks very much for being here.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Dr. Whittall, obsessive-compulsive disorder, a hyphenated term. Can you explain to everybody what that means?
As the name suggests, people can experience either obsessions, which are repetitive, unwanted thoughts, images, or impulses. And compulsions tend to be behaviors that people do repetitively, excessively, to bring down anxiety.
Okay, can you give some examples of compulsions?
Compulsions tend to be more behaviors that people do, such as checking or washing.
Okay, and obsessions, a little bit more information, exactly what that means.
Obsessions are unwanted, frequent thoughts, images, or impulses that intrude in when somebody doesn't want them to. The content tends to be either sexual, violence, or blasphemy or anti-religious thoughts.
Now, in terms of what to do about this, what kinds of advice can you give to people who are troubled either by these upsetting thoughts or the behaviors or both?
Well, let me start with the compulsions first. Well, in the example of checkers, people who check tend to check the same things at the same time. The stove before they go to bed, the door before they leave the house. We will get people to make a list of all the things that they check, starting with what is easiest to give up and moving to what is the hardest to give up.
I guess as they do that, their anxiety must build. I mean, if they're used to checking all the doors in the house 15 times before they go to bed and you're trying to have them back off, what happens with their anxiety when they try to, slow down or back off?
Very predictably, their anxiety will increase. Anxiety, however, increases to a point where it doesn't get any higher, reaches a plateau, and if you don't do anything about it, it will go away on its own.
I think that's a key point. Let's talk about the obsessions then. Someone's having upsetting thoughts about, harming themselves or, doing something sacrilegious or whatever. Well, what can one do about that?
Well, the first thing to recognize is that everybody has thoughts that they don't want to have. Even the content can be very similar. It's the meaning that is placed upon the thought and what people do in response to the thought that makes the difference.
Okay, so in order to beat this, what does one do? One, first of all, goes, oh well, my brain plays these games a bit, so what? And then?
Well, part of it too also is to recognize that people will try to keep the thoughts at bay. And the minute you try to not think about a thought, there it is.
If I say don't think about pink elephants,
there it is.
There it is. Okay. So then one, might even overthink about it? Or are there can you take it a step further than that?
Well, people will start to wonder why it's there. Why is it there so frequently? I'm trying so hard not to think about it. Why am I thinking about it? Maybe I really want to do it.
Excellent. Very helpful, Dr. Whittall. Thank you very much. My guest has been Dr. Maureen Whittall from the Anxiety Disorders Clinic at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver.